Hi everyone, I'm Ben, and this is the Board Game Blueprint. This week we're going to be taking a quick look at some new dice that are available on the Game Crafter and how you might be able to use them based on their color, size, weights, and whatever else. So let's jump on over to the table next door and see what we have in store. So here are a bunch of 12mm dice. These ones are quite a bit more portable, and as we saw in the previous Mint Tin video with Scott Eaton, will allow you to fit a whole lot more inside that tin. The cool thing about what we have in front of us is the variety of colors. Now normally we can expect kind of your standard primaries and such, but there's also a couple new finishes and whatnot, so let's take a closer look at a few of those. Here on the left is a translucent blue that has a little bit of glitter, so that could be used maybe for some kind of magic die or to represent ice, energy, etc., etc. We have this kind of more onyx type with a little bit of pearl thrown in, and I want to say that this is kind of a translucent pearl. So these could work as different materials in your game, resources if you would. Maybe you have coal for the dark, and then maybe for this light it's going to be glass of some kind. This is a kind of regular standard color, but it's kind of a caramel, which is nice if maybe you're working on a candy or chocolate themed game. You can throw these in here to add a little bit of sweetness. And I'm gonna skip over here to this red translucent die. It's got a nice hue to it, similar to the blue, but without the glitter. And I think it's pretty neat in that it looks like some kind of liquid, crystallized liquid. So it could be blood, again in the spirit of Halloween, or just some kind of gem of a type, like a ruby. And lastly is going to be this star die. So it kind of looks like a night sky, and it has stars for all the different pips. So this could be really nice if you were doing something about constellations or reading stars perhaps. Could also be some kind of space themed game as well. So you have your standard colors, and then you have these kind of other translucent types, all again of a smaller size, which maybe allows you to throw just a whole bunch more into your game for a cheaper price and lower shipping weight. In fact, when I was in a real-time design phase, I was thinking about maybe using these 4 colors specifically in a game called Hot Dog Hijinks, where these were the condiments, and so players would have to roll them onto the table and assign them to different hot dogs, try to pass off or get through, sell as many as they could before any of the other players. Now that I have these on me, I might have to pick up a couple more and see if I can pick that design right back up. Of course, being from Chicago, I should probably just remove the red ketchup dye altogether and keep the mustard, relish, and onions. And now we have a couple regular D6s, standard 16mm size, but in a couple different ways. So I'm gonna go ahead and show off these two first. These are black and white, and they have numbers printed on them. From what I'm told, these are used in kind of battle games like Magic the Gathering to signify the pluses and minuses, maybe, of your attack and defense stat. However, I'm sure you could come up with some other innovative way to use them, as they already have a bunch of values printed on them already. Maybe under the cover of night, or a battle between light and dark. It could be neat if the number to the left of the slash meant something different than the one on the right. Here's another die, a little bit more standard perhaps, with the black marbling yet again, but with yellow pips. They look a little bit darker in person, almost like an orange, while maybe on the camera they look yellow. But this is really cool to kind of just offer a more premier feeling. Or if the game was about some kind of marble construction, the Greek gods perhaps. I believe I recognize this coffee bean die from the game Viva Java, maybe Viva Java Dice, which is a game about, well, brewing coffee. But if you wanted to, you could probably go ahead and use these similar faces as other types of beans. In my mind, I'm thinking chocolate. And so we have this brown face here, and maybe other types could be whatever you want. You got your chili chocolate, you have your matcha chocolate, oh yeah. You got your white chocolate, and well, this could be, again, back to caramel. So the great thing, again, about having maybe components from already published games is that you can use them to your own means if you really like them and maybe can't purchase a copy for yourself. In a similar way, and I don't recognize where this game is from though, it looks like something Eldritch or Arkham, where we have tentacles, for some kind of Cthulhu type thing. We have a squid, of course, for the entirety. And maybe these are wounds or barbs. That I couldn't tell you really. But maybe we can tweak this to be some kind of seafaring game where you're facing a kraken. Whoop! And you'll drop it on to the table and see what happens, how it affects or takes down, attacks the ship that you're currently boarded. And lastly, we have these awesome, really cool dice, which give, to me, a really post-apocalyptic feel, especially with some kind of gas mask like this. Now, it looks like all the different faces have numbers and maybe energy symbols, so it could be possible that these all went together in some kind of way. How many lightning bolts and whatnot seems to correspond with the color of the die, although we can see here on the green that there is 1 and then sometimes 2, while the yellow has up to 3 and a radioactive symbol to boot. So maybe it's less about luck on these and in the game, whatever it may be, standard or of your own design, the scarcity or number of each of these dice is going to be different, allowing you to maybe pull 6, let's say 2 blue, 2 brown, and 1 yellow for a result that you hope for. Oh, and there's another single 1 lightning bolt on the brown. And last but not least is this awesome wooden die, which is going to be larger than the standard 16 millimeter and also have kind of circular faces to them, a little bit more than usual. It looks like this was printed on as well, and let's not forget that the Game Crafter also offers that as a possibility. Wooden dice that you can laser etch or, I believe, print on as well. We'll verify that soon. But again, yeah, we have a series of colors and symbols, which makes it also great for any players that might have color deficiency to figure out or read what the die is. Unfortunately, all these symbols look pretty abstract, so we'll probably need a reference card of some kind to remind us what all of these things mean. But for your game, they can really be anything. Maybe this is a frog leg, and that's a snake, is what I was seeing earlier. We have another snake or water, fire, and ooh, maybe this could be air. I'm not sure. It looks like a king of some kind as well. So really, you're only limited again by your imagination. I might be tooting my own horn, but I feel like we came up with a couple cool ideas that had to do with the textures, or at least the speckling or marbling of the different dice, as well as the iconography, and hopefully inspired you to design something with what's available on the Game Crafter. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on future content like this. As always, I'm Ben. This has been another episode of the Board Game Blueprint, and together, let's build something great.